Okay guys, in this video I'm going to go through what your homework is. Here's the announcement that I sent to both pre-AP Algebra and also to Algebra 1. So keep in mind that the first two pages, numbers 1 through 10 on page 1, then 32 through 35 on page 2. These are all, this is an extra credit assignment. So the real work begins from page 3 onward, and you're to do 18 through 23. Also add on here, I believe, number 25 and 26. So let me go ahead and show you what the pages look like. So remember, you can find the PDF. Make sure you're working on science fair as well, where you can, but it's this PDF right here is the one that has the new homework, and it'll all be due on, again, Tuesday and Wednesday when you return. Also keep in mind that we will be starting into a new unit, and then we do have the mock Algebra Star March the 2nd. I repeat, March the 2nd is the Algebra 1 Star. So we're definitely going to be reviewing a lot this week. And then I am going to try to squeeze in maybe 2 or 3 concepts for quadratics. So everybody really needs to be on their P's and Q's this week so we can do well and we get good data and show our growth, and then see what it is you guys know and are still struggling with before we take the official STAR exam in May. All right, so what I'm going to do here is, let me go ahead and open up my document camera. I thought I had it open already. I'm just going to share the pages on the document camera so you can see them real quick. So while that opens up, let's see. All right, so here starts the homework, which is multiplying polynomials. Keep in mind that for multiplying polynomials, you're basically using the FOIL method. I think a lot of students get this really, really well because you've done Punnett squares with Mr. Vela. So just keep in mind that you're doing the first 2 terms get multiplied together. So that's why they did x times x. That becomes your x squared. Then they did x times the negative 2x. Multiply those 2 together. They got negative 2x. Your innermost 2 terms are the closest to each other in those binomials. So that's your 4x times x, which becomes 4x. And then they have the last 2 terms in the parentheses, negative 2 times 4. And then you have negative 8. And then remember that your outer and your inner term can always be combined because they're like terms. So that's where they got the 2x from. So I'm going to just show about 2 or 3 of these super fast, very fast. So let's say, give me 1 second. I have shot this video like 1,000 times, so I'm a little frustrated, and I've had all these issues with it not staying. So I'm going to just walk you guys through from the video that I already did, but I lost it. So again, what happens when we're starting right here? Here's 3 examples. So we have 7x. I told you guys you can circle it, multiply it to every term in the second parentheses. So basically 7x times 3x becomes 21x squared. Then we're taking 7x and we're multiplying to the outside to 6. That's where I got 42x. And then I box with the sign of the second term in the first parentheses and multiply by the 2 terms in the second parentheses. So I have negative 4 times 3x, negative 4 times 6. So again, negative 4 times 3x, that's where I got negative 12x. Negative 4 times 6, I got negative 24. And then these 2 terms are the terms you combine together because, again, they both have x's on them. So that's where I subtracted and got 30x. So the final answer to this one is 21x squared plus 30x minus 24. Right? That's, again, a binomial times a binomial. Use the FOIL method. Here's another one. I circle the 5x multiplied to 8. That's where I get 40x squared. Remember, you have to apply the law of exponents. Then I have 5x times negative 2, which is negative 10x. 4 times 8x is 32x. 4 times negative 2, negative 8. Combine those 2 with subtraction. I got positive 22x. So this was the final answer for that binomial times binomial, which again, it produces a trinomial, something that has 3 terms. And the last one is I took 8w multiplied by 5w, got 40w squared. 8w times 6x became negative 48wx. Remember, you're supposed to put the letters in alphabetical order. And then I had 4x times 5w, which was 20wx. Remember, these are like terms. So because he was negative and this one's positive, we subtracted for negative 28wx, kept the sign of the bigger number. Then, of course, in the back, we had 4x times negative 6x, negative 24x squared, and that goes in the back. So I hope everybody's good with the FOIL method. Pretty straightforward. Another way I know my teacher showed us is by using your fingers. So there's your first two, you multiply, your outer two, you multiply those, your innermost, and then your last. All right, let me show you guys here's two of these. What happens if we have a binomial, something that has two terms, multiplied by something that has three terms in parentheses? This is a trinomial. So this one you say, everyone gets a term. So what you do is you are circling the first term in the parentheses and you're multiplying it by every single term in the second parentheses, which is the trinomial. So everyone is getting a term to multiply with that one term. Okay, so 5x times 2x squared, everybody see that? That becomes 10x cubed. 5x times 3w becomes 15wx. Just marry those two variables together. 5x times 6 becomes 30x. And now I'm taking the second term in the parentheses and multiplying it by every term in the trinomial. So this becomes negative 14x squared. Negative 7 times 3w is negative 21w. Negative 7 times 6, negative 42. But you notice in this one, guys, all of them are different. You see? So there's nothing to combine in this one. All right? The last one I'll show you real quick. We have x squared times 5x squared. That becomes 5x to the fourth. X squared times negative 6. That's negative 6x to the third. X squared times 1 is just x squared. Then I have 5x times 5x squared, which is 25x to the third. 5x times negative 6x is negative 30x squared. 5x times 1 is 5x. Then I notice that, okay, here is my only term that has x to the fourth. I dropped it down. This one was a cubic term, and so was this one. So 25 minus 6 gave me positive 19x to the third. Then right here, I have x squared minus 30x. You would subtract these two and keep it negative. So there's negative 29x squared. And then the 5x is the only one of its type. Okay, so real quick again, those were ones that I already worked in another video. I lost the video. It didn't turn up. So I'm just talking you through these. But I will work out one binomial, one binomial, trinomial. Here we go. So what if we have something like okay, so again, I'm FOILing this out. That is 2y to the second, 2y squared. 2y times 4 is 8y. Negative 2 times y is negative 2y. And negative 8. These two are like terms. Sorry, guys. So now I have 2y squared. And this becomes 6y minus 8. That's it. Here's a binomial times a trinomial. So what about, trying to find one. Okay. 2x minus 3 times x squared minus 4x plus 1. Okay. So I'm going to circle this one, multiply by every term. So 2x times x squared is 2x cubed. 2x times negative 4x is negative 8x squared. 2x times 1 is 2x. Now I'm going to take the negative 3 and multiply by every term. That's negative x squared. Negative 3 times negative 4x is 12x. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. So this is the only cubic term. This is the only constant, so I'm just drop those down. But I notice I can combine this negative 8x squared with this negative 3x squared. Remember that since they're both negative, you got to do addition. Okay, so this is negative 11. Get your rule of integers down, guys. Here, 2x and then a 12x becomes 14x. Watch your signs. All right, so that concludes this video over multiplying polynomials. The problems you were supposed to do from the textbook, let me double check, is again Algebra 1. I know you guys did 12 through 17. I'm asking you to do more practice, 18 through 23. Pre-AP you have not done either, so you have to do 18 through 23, and then you all need to do 25 through 26, which is good. You do not have to do a trinomial times a trinomial, unless you just want to do it for practice. And so that concludes that. Also, I don't know if I took pictures at the top of the book, but I'm going to go ahead in this video and just kind of hold it here for a few seconds. You can do more practice if you need to, pre-AP 1 through 6. And then, of course, 8 and 9 are the binomial times trinomial, but you don't have to do 10 through 11. So I'm just saying if you don't feel like this is enough and you don't have it down, you can try 1 through 6 at the top, 8 and 9, and then the homework again is 18 through 23, 25, and 26. All right, see you guys in the next video.